Hey, Final Chills is first. Indeed, you are first. How's it going? We're back. We're back, everybody. Short day today. Alright, not a long stream. I got some IRL obligations. But we're here for the speed gaming. Surprised to see me on now? Well, last night I did say I'd be on now. But yeah, usually I come on later in the day. It's true. Already cleaned up my stash. Everything nice and ready. What am I looking forward in 3.27? I haven't thought one single bit about 3.27, so I'm afraid the answer is nothing. Not that I'm not going to play it. Is that lightning one? What is that? I mean, to me, we're still very much in the early... The league's only a little over 2 weeks old. PoE 2 league's only 2 weeks old. Like, I wouldn't be thinking about PoE 2 2 weeks into a PoE 1 league either. Like, nah, dude, I'm not even thinking about it. I will probably play 3.27 and just play whatever we get. Great start already, I know. The best thing is that I didn't seem to have any major lag right off the bat. I love seeing all the people arguing me that Row is somehow faster than this, man. People living in a clown world. Living in a clown world. Imagine thinking a Row is faster than this. Crazy. Can Twister Poison work? Probably, but it's not something I've looked into. Somebody did mention last night in stream they made a Twister Chayula. And that it was working well. I don't know if they did poison though. See that I'm running the map. LA Row is still more fast. Oh, there you go. I don't know how you believe that, man. Just put the content side by side. All you gotta do is believe your lying eyes. Shit. Oh. Oh, you're trolling? Okay. I know some people are serious. I gotta do the boss that bugs out every time. Manual selling technique? Yeah, just for these, because I don't know what these jewels are worth and I don't want to price them constantly. Like a bunch, you know, a bunch of corrupted jewels. I have no idea what they're worth, so I'm just lowering them over time in a tab. I don't think I can automatically set the price tag for things in the merchant thing, right? If I could, I'd do it that way, but I don't think I can.
What is it? These are ours. I will make use of this.
Gain 5% damage as all elements. Wait, that's actually might be a good thing to put on my weapons. Shit. Ugh. We'll think about that. My twister weapon. Yeah, probably iron runes better. Well, hello there. Hello there. No, it's costing me too much. How damage without guiding palm? Oh, it's fine. Guiding palm isn't needed. I mean, heck, when I first made the build, it had no guiding palm because it was all in one, like, fast attack stuff. I may remove my scepter eventually if I try to go back to hollow palm. I don't know if I will, but no, it's not that big of a deal. You would want to have flat lightning on gloves and or ring, especially like 2 rolls if you weren't using that. Otherwise, you're gonna struggle to get shock anywhere. So it elevates the need of that. Get that lightning. Go to your home. Oh god, he got stunned at the wrong time, didn't he? Whew. In the clear. Maybe. Nah, this build's phenomenal. It's incredible. Even early game, late SSF. People have talked about doing SSF. Even hardcore it can be a little bit sketchy, but with this build, you have the ability to play exceptionally defensively if you want to. And so I would even go so far as to say in the hands of somebody who's got their head on their shoulders, right? Who has a certain mode of play they want to play and they know how to do that mode. This build's really enabling because you can kill things 3 screens away. You can potentially play this build where a monster is never on your screen, more or less. I mean, like you have that option. I don't do that because that's not what I'm going for, but the option's there. I have demonstrated it in like a 30-second time, and it kind of drove me nuts to play it that way, but you can at least demonstrate what that looks like. Unset rings are needed for additional slots. Yeah, you really need just one. You can drop siphon elements and or call the weak if you want to. Oh my god, I actually got trapped up there. That was weird. And somehow it finished. Any big changes since last stream? Nope. I basically went to bed and woke up, got some breakfast, cleaned out my tabs, and logged back in. I tried to craft a few more rings. I'm trying to get better unset rings right now, but it's not going well. So I really want like high rarity on them. And I want lightning roll on them, and you know, I need resistances to be good on them, and like double rarity, flat lightning, mass res. Oh yeah, and I need leech rolls on them. From downtown, Twister strikes off-screen star. Oh yeah. I know it. I have Headhunter now, yep. Yeah, I got that last night before stream. Finally, a lot of my weapons sold. My weapons for, you know, 5 to 10 to 20 div. Like backup weapons and stuff. Is there anything special I should be doing? Eye of the Storm map to increase Rocketta's drop chance. No idea. Somebody in chat might know. I've never farmed those supports before. Oh, there. Another divine orb. It's a cool teleport. I was lagging bad last night. The lag is gone now.
Yes, this is all we have. As expected.
Nice.
Go.
What's new? I'm sure someone would want that.
Hey bro, build is amazing in map, but I struggle with boss. Help me some opinions. If you're struggling against a boss, it's almost invariably because you're not critting. So sometimes it's a little frustrating with Twister if your crit chances, especially if your crit chance isn't high. If you have a few Twister casts in a row, they don't crit, and none of the Twisters crit that you cast in a single cast. They either all crit or none of them do. So for me, if my Twister crits, it almost always means whatever that monster is dead in one cast. But like if they don't crit, it would take like six casts to kill him or something like that. But my crit chance, effective crit chance is like 80%, so kinda, you know. But yeah, you shouldn't find boss damage being weak on this build. It's just a matter of spinning the dice a little bit on it. That particular issue is the biggest thing to favor Amazon over Deadeye. But like Deadeye casts more twisters, so it actually does more boss DPS, but at least like the Amazon typically never failed to crit. So the damage was much smoother. Because of her, you know, huge flat crit chance. It was the reason why I never switched out of Amazon, because I didn't want to have to deal with that. Perfect Jeweler Orb. I only just now realized that their uninspired perfect greater orbs are based off the Jeweler Orb that already existed in game. I hadn't even realized that. I like how the twisters that I had cast that were stuck in the ritual then were released and killed all the mobs in the breach. It's great. You have a skill tree version for hardcore a bit more tanky? No, I mean I haven't. I'm not intending to go out of my way to make a hardcore tree for this build. I mean, if you want to do hardcore, you can kind of figure that out. I haven't even played hardcore in this game beyond like Act 2, so I don't really know what the necessary progression curve should look like. To what extent you should sacrifice offense for defense. I wouldn't have confidence in myself to lead people the right way on that. Hardcore viable? Sure, but you'd have to play it a lot differently. Play it defensively.
That would only slow me down.
You can kill things 2-3 screens ahead of you. You can play it incredibly defensively if you want. Critical offensive points you can't skip out on.
These are our supplies, as expected. Time is
Yes.
I don't know. Like, Jesus Christ, that's such a loaded question. The passive tree, the All right. Well, you can make Whirling Slash. You would do knockback on there. Go speed if you want. You can use the weapons set points. All pretty much the same. You don't need to prioritize attack speed much beyond what you can already do baseline to go almost as fast as I'm going. I'd probably skip this wheel here. Unless you're like super well geared. I just skip all of this wheel and then focus more on defensive points up here maybe. But you definitely go down here. You have to go down here. You have to get this stuff. And you presumably have to get this stuff if you're gonna survive.
Yes? Oh, it's you.
Yeah, so that's the best I got off the top of my head. Wait, what? Passive tree. Send it to the Discord, and I'll take a look at it. And tag me in like the build help section, or else I might not see it after the stream. Time Bun says, "Thank you for the content. Always enjoy watching." Yeah. I enjoy hearing what you guys have to say. About your journey. Especially if it's this build. Especially. Oh, I forgot to do the ritual last map, dang it. I can't forget to do that. How do you make your crit higher? You get as close to 5% crit chance on the roll on the weapon, the big one. Take all the crit nodes that I took. You can't crit cap with this unless you make like major sacrifices. Maybe, I don't know. Somebody showed me a while back a tree where they had like basically capped crit, but I didn't like how many sacrifices they had to make to do that, so I didn't like. I mean, I appreciated the look at it, but it's not something I wanted to incorporate in the core build. I think they used a different base too. They used the crit base, Auk and Spear or whatever, the 7% crit base. I don't think it's worth giving up flying base for that. Oh my god. What the fuck? Wait, I thought I cast Twisters and none came out, but actually I didn't even cast them. Godwalker is actually a lot nicer than I remember. I thought I'd be annoyed by it, but it's typically been like a neutral to positive force. Why do you use anticipation support for Amulet? Well, anybody know the answer to that? Just to ask obvious question, weapon set 1 attack speed for whirling sight? Yes. Yeah, Dance with Death. Weapon set 1 is Dance with Death, no offhand. Weapon set 2 is with one of the scepters, preferably.
Too weak. Too slow. In my sights.
Heal game frequency goes down by 25%. Yeah, that doesn't quite encompass the entire answer. The entire answer is that GGG programmed their game so that seals were a monolith stat. So even though it said Unleash, which only applied to 0.1, in 0.2 they introduced Salvo as a secondary seal skill for attacks only, but they did not reword or reprogram Anticipation. Therefore, it works for Salvo exactly the same as Unleash. So it's just a failure on GG's part to update the tooltip on it. Bro acts like everyone is asked. Well, I mean, this particular question has been asked over 100 times in my chat, dude. And so I've said it 100 times to viewers who do frequent here. I figured I'd let a viewer try to answer the question, alright? I don't mind the question. I don't even mind, you know, the annoyance of being asked 100 times. I just figured I would make a little bit of a more cheeky fun out of it and let a viewer answer it instead of me. Good grief. Is there a suggestion of when to do early game versus late game?
Speak. This is all we
I mean, it basically just comes down to you getting really, really good gear. I mean, it's just showcases really good gear. Wait a minute, this is actually perfect prefixes. What? Or, well, okay, no, not really. Huh. Well then. Well then. Only like a third or fourth best base, but
All right.
probably worth
Order
trying
is
this.
registered.
I don't think I'm gonna pay for the second look. Do you think that they will adjust how attack speed affects attack skills that serves as movement as well next league? I think there's a decent chance of it. I thought they would probably adjust it this time, but they didn't. They made it even easier to do. Which is bizarre. Oh, this is cool. My armor is now specialized. With reservation efficiency. So instead of
Yes.
nerfing movement scaling, they bugged it so it worked way better, and then they also buffed it at the same time. They fixed the bug, but then it remained giga buffed through support gems and weapon swap no delay. That's primarily how it's giga buffed.
Have an order? Is that a good price for that? I have no idea. Can I help? Good.
Fresh starts SSF spears is viable? Yeah. You want to try to get these items if you can. This item in particular, early on. But I mean, in SSF you can farm the minion anyway. Like that's actually that's especially easy for SSF, an easy avenue for SSF to get elemental twisters. But this combo here, these two items are very, very, very good. As early game. It doesn't have to be like level 30 or whatever, but like even level 80 or 90, they're very, very solid ways of playing the build. Whole lot of power. Before you have that, you just use frozen locusts on a weapon swap to get elemental twisters, like in the axe and stuff. Unfortunately, you'll move slower because they bug fixed it than what you saw in like in my. Well, I mean, you'll move at the same rate you see in my walkthrough. I have an Act 1 walkthrough video where I show exactly how to play the build in SSF in Act 1 anyway. You can at least understand conceptually how it's done. Or you can just play as some other build in Act 1 and switch to this in SSF, it's fine.
An easy trophy.
Yeah, it's a few videos back on YouTube. I did all that before the launch.
To retreat log, bring them to me.
Wait, did I just finally get my last 2 points? No, I still don't have these points. Oh my god. Here's one of my favorite things when in the debate of movement speed and moving fast, the whirling slash twister build scrutinized for maps like Augury. And what people don't realize is that the tighter the map is, the better Twister is. Like this is like the perfect layout for Twister. Yes, it gets a little bit annoying to try and navigate through it, but it's like more than made up for by the fact that, you know, almost every other build hates layouts like this because, you know, they don't have the open-ended way of playing and attacking and all the luxury of that open-ended AoE, where the most open maps are the best maps for Whirling Slash, but the worst maps for Twister, and the most closed maps are the worst maps for Whirling Slash and the best maps for Twister. It's pretty funny. I don't want to press that breach. That was... not until I can go into the middle. Can you explain how to get the companion? I also made a YouTube video on that. The 7 spirit gems with the weapon swap for spirit. There's a section in there where I talk about the companion, exactly how to get it. But it's in the Ashen Forest in the interludes. You just keep resetting the checkpoint over and over until you get Trail of Ice and Haste together. If you're upside of movement, this is brain off attacking, moving is so possible, but you gotta watch the walls. I don't know, maybe I'd take it for granted, but I've always used the mini-map to navigate where I'm walking. I've never looked at the map, always a mini-map gamer. Maybe other people aren't mini-map gamers, so it's like hard for them or something, I don't know. Ever since playing Diablo 2, like, fucking 30 years ago, I've never, in ARPGs, I've never looked at the layout. I'm always just watching the minimap. You know? Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, sure, it definitely takes some getting used to. But wait, the doors didn't close there? Oh. See, like here, you'd be like, well, I want to move really fast because the breach is on, right? So if I get stuck on walls all the time, it's a problem because I can't clear the breach fast. On the other hand, the twisters are so unbelievably godly at a breach in a location like this that they more than make up for the addition of getting stuck. You know, because they're going around killing monsters in corridors and stuff that I don't even have to run over there. Like 2 screens away. Like one twister cast here just clears everything just almost everywhere. This is what I mean when I say, like, even in the worst of cases, it's like almost better. The twister like more than makes up for the failure on whirling/pathing. Why Ice Strike? Well, that was a different version of the build. With Hollow Palm, weapon swap. You have to use 6 mod waystones on citadels to get calamity fragments. No, you don't. No. You gotta have a fully spec'd boss atlas. Map boss atlas.
Can I help? I'll tend to the books.
You know. Running out of good maps. I'm gonna have to go fishing for some more towers. Oh, just wanted to this build. This has been a blast this season. Thank you for all the theory crafting guides. Bro, you are most welcome. It was so much fun theory crafting this build even after the launch that I sacrificed my own grinding time to keep tinkering with it. I had so much fun. And to a certain extent, I'm still doing that, but not nearly as much as I was. Exceptional spear with 2 sockets? Well, I regret to inform you it's not worth all that much. Because you can go and trade and buy those. Just slam it with the tier 3, transmute, tier 3, augment, and then probably tier 3 crit if either one of those hit good on the essence. Good luck on your slam. Comrade Fest says, I really don't understand why you're using anticipation. Okay. Very clear here. Anticipation says skills supported by Unleash have 25% increased seal gain frequency. I want you to imagine that the text says skills supported by Unleash and Salvo have 25% increased seal gain frequency, because that is the way of it. It works for Salvo exactly the same way. The fact that it doesn't state it is a mistake on GG's part. It works all the same. I've tested it, I've clocked it, I've looked at it, I even made a video on it specifically back in 0.2. AoE for the time lost jewel? No, it's not very important. It's nowhere near as important as skill effect duration. If I was trying to copy the build, I would just ignore that mod. You can probably craft those jewels though, honestly. It has to be possible to craft a jewel. It can't be that hard to craft a 3 modded time lost jewel. You know what I mean? It can't be that bad. I don't know if there's any special way, but I mean, even just like chaos spamming your ass off would probably hit it eventually. Off a fracture, of course. You'd fracture the hardest mod to hit. Whatever that is. You check the weightings. It can't be that hard. Has anybody crafted it? How do you best do it? Which mod do you fracture? Do you use any special crafting materials? I should probably make a video on it. Oh, then just desecrate. Yeah, of course. Of course you just desecrate. Is it hard to hit on the desecrate mod? Fracture, chaos, desecrate. Easy clap. Actually, I should probably remake mine because I can fracture 25%. Perfect roll. I craft my chest piece. This body armor I've had for ages. I did not craft it from scratch. I basically bought it pretty much finished. Wow, bro. That's crazy. Wait, you don't even have a fracture. What the fuck? That's actually perfect. That's a lot better than mine. I mean, it's, well, for the visual it is. Large wheel and 25%. Actually better than mine. I could eventually divine mine. How many divines did you spend on it? Probably, like, I guess you spent like 20. I could try to divine mine, but that'd be a mistake, I think. What do you do if fracturing doesn't hit the right mod? You throw it in the trash. Get another jewel. Have I decided on rarity sweet spot? No, but I'll probably get 150. I think I can do 150 because I can probably get double rarity on both rings. And that should put me around 150. With one rarity roll on boot, one rarity roll on... Actually, right now my boots don't have rarity on them.
Yes. Quickly. I will make use of this.
Oh snap. Oh snap. Hey now. Hey now. No! I need the flag. Come on. Come on. That's some BS. Such BS, dude. Are you gonna hit that mod? This game. This game.
Yes, this is all we had expected. Indeed. Yes,
At least I didn't hit elemental damage to the attacks.
indeed.
What a shame. One to 55.
Yes?
Why we can't have nice things.
I'll fill that in as soon as I can.
Did I actually hit that? Come on. Really? That's crazy. It's an Amazon weapon, I guess. Potentially. See if I get anything good. You think Palm of the Dreamer? Palm of the Dreamer probably is good for trash, because I've had the Gloom Shrine on before, and if it feels the same as that, it's probably good. I think I will probably go for it. Physical damage. Flat Fizz, 19 to 34. I remember what that number is. Here 3, no. Should have kept it. Seen zero streamers test out like 400% rarity on a ritualist. I mean, we already... nobody's expecting the formula to have been changed on rarity since 0.2. They certainly didn't announce
Is that
that.
a good price for that? I have no idea.
I think it was determined that rarity is pretty fair. I guess you would maybe want to check because of the new currencies or something, but... Anyway, I'm not under the impression that rarity is this kind of thing that you need to feel obligated to get, but that it's also really strong for the, you know, the less you have of it. Especially if you have very little of it. Every point matters a great deal. The more you get, the less it matters. And it seems fairly well balanced in that respect. As somebody who likes to min-max and stuff, I don't feel too comfortable playing with less than 100. But I don't feel like I need any more than probably 200 to feel good about it. You know? Just kind of where I'm at. The 100 to 200 range felt pretty good last time in 0.2. Yeah, I guess. I mean, if it was something that was easy enough for me to achieve, I would probably do it, but I don't want to re-roll a Ritualist just to get an extra ring, just to get an extra 50 rarity, you know? I don't really want to... I don't want to, like, upend the build I'm running in some massive way just to try to go crazy on rarity. I didn't do that in PoE 1, too. Even in the heyday of magic finding, I was always a guy who... As far as magic finding is concerned, when I burst onto the scenes, it was as somebody who said, hey guys, you don't need to go off the deep end, do magic finding on tier 4 maps or whatever, you can, you know, hybridize your build, do high tier red maps, and also magic find, and the formula is favorable for that sort of thing. That's the sort of thing I was known for. So yeah, I'm very much in favor of not tearing a build completely apart just to get a tiny bit more rarity. Or a tiny bit more movement speed, for that matter. RP walking.
Perish with the old ways. The Paradon shall rise.
I did actually crit there. Wait, is he? Oh, so he's gone.
I have seen what has come and what will be.
Oh yeah, I don't know what to do here. Do I stand inside or go outside here? Never mind, I thought that was a mechanic. Did this guy even drop anything good? Am I still using normal stab with eyeless chimes? No, it seems unnecessary, especially in maps. Hey, yo! That was almost good. Falconer's Jacket. I would imagine Falconer's Jacket's best in slot, right? 5% increased movement speed. What? Dude, I hit Merciless on this thing? Oh my god.
It's you.
Hit Merciless on a quarterstaff?
I'll do what I can to sell it for you. What's new?
That's good.
Oh, it's you. Good.
Meh. Meh.
Thanks for the chat.
Diablo 4 has much more FPS in Endgame. Oh. I can believe that. Diablo 4 has much better FPS in the in-game because there's way less going on in the end game. Ice Nut Fractured, Percent Fizz, Desecrated, Flat Fizz. How would you get Hybrid next? Well, you just... I mean, I don't know. Like, probably Perfect Exalt Slam. Either Greater or Perfect Exalt Slam. You'll probably miss, and then you can either use Whittling Omens, or you can keep trying to... I think... You use the Essence, I think? I can't remember. I'm actually forgetting off the top of my head how you keep recycling Desecrated mod. The way that craft is actually supposed to go is the Desecrated mod is the last mod you get. Typically. Not the 5th. It's the 6th mod you go for. Because you keep redesecrating. Like, if you don't like your... Especially if you don't like your 5th mod, you can, Actually, I honestly forgot what I even said. I know it was a good strat, and it worked. I just can't even remember what... off the top of my head. I'm too sleepy this morning. You can whittle your own Desecrated mod off if you deliberately choose the lower tier one. Might be possible. You can use the prefix Essence for percent gain is extra lightning or cold. Probably choose lightning for this build since you already got cold. Oh, like that armor was worth like 12 divines last league. You know, I just realized I haven't actually seen endgame footage of a lightning arrow build doing breaches. I'm sure it's pretty good at it. If your Whittle might hit that, you can protect it with the prefix Omen. It costs, that Omen's expensive, but you should use it in that case. Maybe. Well, I don't know, maybe not. He's still not finished. I would use it to protect Desecrated mod only at the last stages of it. Well, I haven't done this boss in a long time.
Ranger, you have been sentenced to death.
One shot. Get one shot.
This is all we have. Gold is useless to me. Take it.
The coming calamity. Hey, hey, what's up, guys? Oh my god, this thing is only worth 10x now? What? I do have good res roll, though. Sad. Alright, maybe like 30x.
I'm sure someone will want that.
That was many divines last time.
Have an order? I'll do you proud. What's new? Check back soon.
Windward, great. It'd be very good for the build, but there's nothing I want to give up for that. Is the problem. Can't justify giving up anything else for it. Either give up 50% chance to double the effect of frenzy charges or called shots, so no. You could maybe say it's worth giving up called shots in maps specifically, but oh, there's a door there. Yeah, I mean, I could see an argument for that. I see a pretty big difference in clear whenever I get the 14 versus 8. Twister count off barrage. Does Headhunter still give Shroudwalker buff? Yep. Honestly, I kind of like it in this game for whatever reason. That map was really short.
What is it? Choose what you need. Indeed.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Have an order?
Lofty Summit. That's not the bad one, right?
In my sights.
Yeah, it is the bad one.
Barely broke a sweat.
Two wisps. Yeah, they're not gonna reach anything. Now,
Not ready.
yeah, the regal ones like that were removed. Yes. Damn, I should have moved it up there. Jeez. Can he do it? Why is it going so unbelievably slow, dude?
Quick and lethal.
Wow. 0 things on the filter. How about this goes to underground depths? Nope.
Yes. These are our supplies.
Is the build faster than Tempest Flurry with 30 APS? A Tempest Flurry genuinely is pretty hard to control. If you remove that part from the equation, I would say I'm pretty sure Tempest Flurry is faster than Whirling Slash. Tempest Flurry, technically, is definitely a lot faster than Whirling Slash at the absolute top end of what you can do with it. Masked Baboon says, this build looks great. I've been looking for a build that will help me adjust to the white balance on my monitor. Okay. Yes. Yes. You mean you want to see more light? The monitor's too old and dark.
Too weak, too slow. Return to death.
I mean, Twisters, how much damage that would be right there. Where's my breach? Thought about playing it this season. I've thought about it, but I wanted to do my conception of a endgame build this league was Hollow Palm combined with Twister. You probably wouldn't need Tempest Flurry because you'd have Whirling Slash. But I don't know. After Whirling Slash bug fix, thought maybe Tempest Flurry as a movement and then Whirling Slash is just a catalyst to get Twisters out, maybe. But I kind of want the Monk side to actually be in charge of some damage. I like the idea of using Monk skills in between Twister casts to dish out a whole bunch of, you know, extra damage or even added mobility. Like, that's why, like, Ice Strike allowed you to teleport, or the Palm skills allow you to teleport. A lot of destructibles to get stuck on in that map.
Yes. Quickly. A useful trade.
I'm a little surprised Palstron is playing that build. I figured he'd get frustrated getting stuck on stuff.
Yes, this is all I will.
So is there any news about 0 or 3.27? Somebody asked me about it earlier. Are people like jonesing about it right now, or was there a teaser of a teaser? It'll still be like 6 weeks away, right? Just that it's still on track. Oh, okay. But don't worry, guys, we didn't abandon you this time. So saith their latest post. Ooh. Current farming strat? Well, that's magic finding breach and some of the cleanse maps with some ritual on the side. I need to check the ritual splinters valley. It might even be worth messing with that.
Too weak, too slow.
Oh, Jesus. Alright. Bad lag. Holding me back. I remember at the end of 3.26 I was contemplating maybe returning to Poison Tornado Shot or Poison I can never remember the name of this gem. It's the other... It's like Toxic Rain, but more like... It's like a Tornado Shot version of Toxic Rain. I can't remember what it is. The Transfigured Gem. Pretty sure this build would melt your PC? You ain't playing unless you're trying to melt your PC. You're not playing. Not truly playing.
Barely broke a sweat.
Scourge Arrow of Menace. Yeah, that's it. I couldn't remember Scourge Arrow. Thank you. Scourge Arrow of Menace. So I'll look at both of those skills, and maybe Scourge Arrow of Menace might be better early on. I like the idea of leveling as Poisonous Concoction because I haven't done it in ages. And then swapping over to either Poison Tornado Shot or Scourge Arrow of Menace. It's beyond time for me to bring that build back. Definitely been a while. Captain Trier, good morning. What's up? I saw a look at your Crazy cast on crit lightning spear build. Look visceral. Did you have screen shake on? Because it seems like the kind of build you definitely should have screen shake on.
Not yet. Barely broke a sweat.
Jack, I want to play without screen shake for myself. Maybe see if I like it more. Where is it at on here? Like one time. You went back to spinning? Yeah, but you could spin with your build. I mean, heck, you were already using a spear. God, that lagged so much. That one cast. Not getting very good loot here.
Barely broke a sweat.
Usually when I say that, a tink happens right after. Jonathan. Jonathan! Where's my tinky, Jonathan? That's your cue, my guy. Atlas farming? I don't know, it's the same as what I did last league. Just they all increase effective modifiers on maps, all the precursor stuff, all the pack size and efficient allocation of increased rares, and not going for any of those side content points. Should have added an abyss tree on the side. I mean, there was a time when they did that kind of thing in PoE 1, but then they said they didn't want to add mechanics to the game. Or add Atlas points for a mechanic that was just introduced into the game. What is this lag? Damn, screen is freezing now.
Easy trophy.
What? A Nullman Orb, I mean, that's actually worth a lot now. What are those up to? Servers are on fire. I'm trying to keep them cool with my icy twisters, though. Noob Stomper says you followed my guide, got lucky with the fracture. 179. Yeah, that's big. Did you just buy the 179 off trade? I bet that was expensive. Sir, where's my breach? Dang, dude. Man spent money. Help me! My PC's falling and it can't get up. My loot is actually really bad right now. You know if the fracture messes with the orange text? I think something weird with it if the Whittle Omen would go on the desecrated mod, maybe?
Go on. These are our supplies.
That might be what you're getting at.
Speak. As useful.
This should still work. Doobie says, do you think you do 10 maps faster than 150% MS Lightning Arrow build? I mean, it depends on what kind of maps. I don't know. Probably. I'd be pretty confident in moving faster on maps that are like point A to B. Like if the goal of the map was specifically just to kill all the rares, oh yeah, for sure. Especially if you include all the maps in the pool there. It's like, I don't know. Here, let me just load in a random map. Let's say, well, how do I not have any maps? What? I don't know. Let's say you said some random map. You don't even care what's going on. Like you're just point A to point B. You're not running any, I don't know, not one of those. Fucking Sun Temple. I don't know. This map, middle of the road. Alright, this map is a little annoying with Whirling Slash, but it's not, like, ridiculous. Let's say all you wanted to do was kill the rares.
Too weak, too slow.
Weird, I don't even see the rares. Such a bad Shroud Walk. I mean, you're not gonna do the Abyss, I guess. So, yeah, you do the Abyss. Okay. Then I don't even see any more rares on this map. I don't know where. Okay, it's back here. So, like, the same thing would happen to a Lightning Arrow build, I guess. Okay, you're done. Like, I assume that's faster than what Lightning Arrow would do in that scenario, or like Roa. I'm pretty sure, like. What is this mob that's here? First time view, I feel like I'm watching PvE2 gameplay at 2x speed. Yeah. Pretty fast. Even more for ROIP's price of gear. Yeah, it really irks me, like, whenever... I have had to deal with, for 2 entire leagues now, in this debate. I've been a part of this debate since 0.1. I've had to deal with people... Their strongest argument, admittedly, their strongest argument is that when I was speaking about the whole, like, moving fast to attack speed as a better catalyst for movement than movement speed increase, that was in the context of attribute stacking and accuracy stacking. And in order to do those things, you have to invest quite a bit of currency into them to reach those dividends, to where it becomes, like, unquestionably better. And I dealt with the arguments time and time again. Yeah, but I can move this fast on a nothing budget, and that's good enough. Yeah, you're faster, but you can do this on a nothing budget. Good enough. It's complete 180 now in 0.3. Complete 180. Now, movement speed got a whole bunch of new ways to get increased further movement speed, but they're extremely expensive. Partially because they're meta, but not just for that reason. Like those runes in the boots, you know, and the boots, like, that would be expensive anyway because they're expensive for the gloves, the essence thing. And now, in order for them to reach those levels of movement speed where they can even begin to argue against this, they have to invest an arm and a leg into it. Just like I had to invest an arm and a leg into an attribute stacker, accuracy stacker. So it's completely turned on its head. In 0.3, I don't have to invest anything to go as fast as anyone else on Aroa, but they have to invest crazy amounts. And so, you know, some people were, like, up in arms that I did a speed test of a 70% movement speed Roa versus a low budget Whirling Slash. That is a fair test because they were roughly the same budget in terms of movement speed. But even still, I didn't want to do that test that way. I wanted to do high end versus high end, but I literally couldn't afford the gear. I couldn't afford the movement speed gear because it was like 200 or 300 divine just to get started on, you know, 200% movement speed. My initial intention was to purchase a bunch of movement speed gear and then resell it at whatever, you know, maybe the slight loss or something. I couldn't even do it. I couldn't afford it. Like I was in the middle of farming for Headhunter, I didn't even have close to enough currency to do that. And that just blew my mind. It was like, well, I guess I can just use math and a formula to realize that if I, if I'm moving 50% movement speed, okay, we can just say you did it in half the time, I guess. I don't know. But people were just trying to find excuses. I've yet to see anybody argue with me on the merits of that. That the closest thing to arguing against the merits of the video I just made, where people were talking about getting stuck on edges and that sort of thing. But they don't realize you don't get stuck on edges anywhere near like you did in 0.2. So, or the thing like, yeah, but on a row you can attack and move. But they don't realize that the movement speed of Whirling Slash is so much greater that you actually still move faster, even if you have to stop and attack, technically. Unless your build is really weak and you have to actually spam attacks as you move, which wouldn't be the case if you had a 200 movement speed invested lightning arrow build, because at that point you're one-shotting screens, you actually only need to attack once every, like 1 or 2 seconds.
I need more mana. I'm out of mana.
Yeah, so I don't know. I knew that video would get some pushback, but I thought about it like 7 different ways. I tried to imagine every possible thing that somebody could say against it in good faith, like good faith arguments. Things that would actually debunk what I was saying, and I just couldn't see it. I couldn't see anything that I could say. I could only see, hyperbolic responses, personal attacks, that kind of thing. And if that's how it is, well, then I'm just gonna make the video because it proves the point either way. The spear base is extremely expensive. What spear base? To move fast? No, it isn't. Just get a 2.2 speed base. It's like 5x or something. You don't have to have like a triple socket sky sliver. That's not required. That's just going all the way with it. You need Frenzy for this. No, you don't need it. Like, it helps to have Frenzy charges. But I would think almost everyone would want to run charge and charge regulation anyway. And by the way, you get 60 spirit back, so you can probably fit in charge regulation and or combat frenzy then. With all that extra spirit. Better scientist will try to prove himself wrong. That is how I operate. I always try to prove myself wrong first. And it's pretty rare when somebody comes along and completely blindsides me on an argument that I hadn't even considered remotely. Well, that's been a while. I wonder who I died from. I guess I probably died from chaos balls on the ritual.
As expected. Speak.
I die from the chaos ball. Ugh, Sun Temple. I will say Sun Temple is probably the worst map for Whirling Slash. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I'll do it just to show you guys how it is. Just how bad is Sun Temple? It might be my least favorite one. Because it really is like... When people talk about Augury being bad, this map's so much worse than Augury. You definitely got to dodge roll a lot to get off of edges on this map. In a world where every map was Sun Temple, I'd argue in favor of runs, classic run speed. Not working for you. What isn't working for you? Like, I basically just roll around on this floor. I don't even really use that much whirling slash. I am up for debate on cast on crit. I had to like wrestle with that one a bit, the cast on crit thing. I felt like it was probably worth it, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was a better way. Some people were talking about Trinity, and I hadn't technically done the math on that, but it's possible that maybe like there's a Trinity setup that beats cast on crit that is like triple elemental spear and stuff, and then that would actually elevate Yoke of Suffering too a little bit. So. Did you put this on one only right here? Somehow it is always the last corner that I check on this map too. It's infuriating. That's not so bad, I guess, on the first floor, though. I wish I could find a way to utilize the fire infusions. I think there might be if I went full-blown cast on crit spell build. With that, I couldn't afford anything. Dude, there is ground effects on almost every map, it seems. What is? Maybe they're all rarity mods. I don't know. It's pretty crazy, though. Increase your damage per charge per infusion. Oh, yeah. That only applies to one link, right? Your main link, so that's kind of... Anyway, that's Sun Temple. 4% more per charge, 4% more perfusion. That's a shitload of work for a maximum of 24% more damage. You can get max charges though.
I shall overcome.
Yikes.
Quick and lethal.
Performance improvements, huh, GGG? Yeah. Yay.
I'll take a look.
What? Took a wrong turn.
Easy process.
I really like the layout of that map. Like, I don't know if I like the layout. I like the, I don't know, the environment, I guess. Cliffside. Pretty cool looking map. Forgot I gotta do the boss.
Crush the intruder!
Oh, is this is the big guy. Is this the final boss? No, it's not. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. I'm tripping. There might be something up here. How's your pet following you so fast? I mean, it does follow fast out of combat. In combat, it falls behind though. Can you turn companion? Why do I have to do Sun Temple right here? What? I don't want to turn my pet off. I want to do that.
I shall overcome. Quick and lethal. Let's do this.
When there's this many chill twisters going around, it should automatically make me immune to fire damage, in my opinion. If I'm engulfed by frozen twisters, why do I take any fire damage at all? Ice Nova only. I mean, there's not really any point in testing that though, because it's not going to be up for single target. So like, you need something for single target. Oh, there was one rare monster left on the map earlier.
Barely broke a sweat.
Better companion of the shoes? The shoes are a big sacrifice to the stats on your boot. The reason you don't want to use the shoes is because you're losing so many stats on your boots. Not including movement speed. So like the boots are more reliable. Of course, but yeah, the sacrifice is major in terms of your stats.
Go on. These are our supply. Gold is useless.
Nice to see the color in the map again.
Need more time.
Ooh, pretty. You have to get a good spirit on the chest. No, you can use the Beacon of Ashes amulet and socket spirit in your weapon. That was the early in-game plan for that.
Not yet.
And that would be before you have Rakiatas as well.
I need more time.
Or you can just have a good rare amulet if that's an alternative.
Patience.
Man, I don't know this map at all. That's a lot of AoE, dude. Way too dank. Twister radius 0.7, what? I got huge twisters right now. You put the Yoke of Suffering in? Well, then, yes, if you put the Yoke of Suffering in, you'd need 59 Spirit on the body armor. The swap from Assus to Yoke of Suffering is contingent on 59 Spirit Body Armor.
I need more mana. Not ready.
I feel like you heard it ting for so long. I mean, you're not gonna hear it from me,
Yes. Quickly.
because I'm not even magic finding at the moment. 179 Fizz, 4.9 CC, both essences done, down to the final two. You definitely want high flat Fizz, and then the other one can be like high flat lightning or hybrid, or maybe high flat, any of the elements, I guess.
Not yet. An easy trophy.
At least that boss is easy. Twister. Oh, that was a crazy Shroud Walk. What?
Prepare yourself. Need more time.
So I see Exalted Orbs are getting weak again. What's going on, guys? Are we about to see the return of the insanity? The Exalted Orb crash? There's a way to reliably generate power charges in a single target for casters. The most reliable way is through an attack. You have to have two melee attacks. One of them gets culmination stacks, the other one spins the combos, the eyeless chimes.
An easy trophy. Not yet.
Much love, Snoo. Thanks for helping me last league with the Amazon. I'm trying Chayula now. Wish me luck. If I have another character, I'll try your Twister Deadeye build. Everybody who has tried Chayula has failed so far. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should go Chayula Monk. Show people the way. I bet you I could. probably. Chayula Monk Twister, what? Original Sin? Chayula Monk Twister? Anyone? Could be amazing. I don't know, it wouldn't have to be Twister, I guess. Elemental resist aura plus taming? Yeah, I assume so.
Barely broke a sweat.
No, not the Chaos Balls. How the Valorb cost 2,500? What? That doesn't even make sense. Why not use Sacred Flames? Well, I want the lightning to help shock, but the last I knew Sacred Flames is pretty expensive, so it's just not a great
What's new? Yes?
option. I think I'm going for the Chaos one anyway. 5. Exalt. I got a long way to go. Shit. What's up, boss? Trying to recreate your build a little. What companion is the one you're using? Oh, I'm using Tame Beast Nettle. Nettle Ant. For the top end, mandatory is Trail of Ice. Bonus points if you get Haystar with it. Yes, of course, you keep that. That is very good. Should divine it. Very, very good weapon. Pretty much on par with mine. Almost. Very nicely done. Companion is from the Ashen Forest interlude. Right here. You can keep respawning it like you can check it like 100 times an hour or more. No, not 100 times, so you can check it like 300 times an hour. Because that's how fast you can respawn the zone. I think it took me like 300 or 400 tries to get it, but the average is... For both of those mods on there, the average is probably like 500 to 1,000 tries, I would guess. Dude, why don't you get a better controlled metamorphosis instead of socketing all res in your gear? I don't know what you mean, better controlled metamorphosis. Like Jewel? What does that have anything to do with resistance? Talking about metamorphosis. Oh, this? Yeah, I need to do that. I've totally forgot about that. That's true. Completely forgot about it. I didn't realize what you were talking about. You're right. I do need to get a better one of those.
Calm down. Who's next?
Usually when I buy one of those the first time, I already buy one that's really good. But this time they were so expensive. I had to buy like a shitty one. Currently level 50 in Act 4. When can I make the switch to this build? Anytime. Especially if you just get a Tangle Tongue and or some other good crit spear. You should be actually be able to go crit pretty early with this one because of the weapon swap helping with that. So leveling the build is a little slower for sure.
Yes, my beloved.
But at level 50, you should have the speed. A lot of the speed. Because you can still get all the supports. You got the Dance with Death, you got Tailwind. You got the Spear Wheel. You got a lot of the weapon swap points done. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Cast Twister in melee range of a boss and 0 of them hit it. 0. It'll be alright to try Ritualist? Yeah, I think it's inferior, but it could be alright. The only motivation I would have for going Ritualist is like to try and do attribute stacking version of this. It's the only incentive you would have. You could get even more speed, I guess, but I don't know. I think it's kind of unnecessary to go that far on it. Now, if we didn't have all the tools to move faster that we have in 0.3, like if we had 0.2 tools to do that, I would... Hell, I might even recommend it. Because you kind of needed that extra speed. Tangle with weapon swap Sky Sliver? Yeah, that works. That definitely works. Yeah, Beacon of Astus, and then you socket your Sky Sliver with 15% Spirit at first, because you won't have the Spirit to do the Companion and all the tech first. Check my video on 7 Spirit Gems if you're confused on how all the Spirit Gems, because I came out with a bunch of tech stuff about weapon swap, not just passive points, but going way off the deep end with like weapon swapping Spirit Gems and stuff. Just to milk, you know, all the more power out of the build. I think a lot of content creators who came out with builds ought to revisit their builds and do things like that. I think they're really selling their builds short when they don't include the multitude of weapon swap powers that exist in the game now with no cost, essentially no cost. Yeah, I tried weapon swap tech in 0.1. I was super disappointed by the weapon delay. And then some people revisit it in 0.2, especially for Twister, and it was legitimately a pretty good idea. Tangle Tongue with weapon swapping Sky Sliver then. Travic talked about this the other day. It was genuinely really powerful, and I kind of turned my nose to it back then. Because I was like, yeah, with the delay, and for what that build had to offer, that was an incredibly strong tech, even with the delay. Now the delay is gone, so the floodgates are open. Like there's like no excuse not to include major power weapon swap stuff that you can do. I don't know, maybe there's some builds that literally can't do it, I guess, but I would think that virtually all builds can utilize it now. At least to a moderate degree. And many builds can probably get extreme amounts of power, like, you know, maybe they can move 40% faster, or maybe they can do 60% more damage by utilizing it, or, you know, maybe they can, maybe they have effectively 60 more spirit because of it, you know, that kind of thing. There's just so much. So much power. Bad. Looking for a good tower setup. Do you see one, guys? I guess I could do some maps here.
This is all in your head.
Delirium mirror, what's that? Oh no, all the color is gone again.
An easy trophy. Meet your end.
And the mirror's gone. Twister is so glorious against Abyss. You just basically AFK it. Wait for the boxes to spawn. Hopefully we get the option to turn off Deli Fog in 0.4.
Yes. Choose what you need.
Or maybe if they at least just like toned it down a bit. Oh my god, huge map. Huge. Let's go. Big old Rust Bowl. Big old Rust Bowl. Keep guiding palm of off hand with Tangle Tongue. Yeah. Yeah, you'd use guiding palm with offhand only. For your Twister cast. I forget, can you switch ascendancies now? Like, can Deadeye swap with Pathfinder, technically? Can, right? Yeah, I thought so.
You sensed it too. The spirit is near.
That breach spawned in such a bad place. Oh, is there a delirium boss there?
Barely broke the sweat.
This breach spawned in a good place. Somehow didn't drop a tink there. This map's way too good to not drop a tink.
Prepare yourself.
Wow, okay. Maybe I can get one here. That's a lot of
Nature forgive me for this.
these. Tank me! Tank me! Tank me! No. Just stood right in the middle of that expedition as fun. That was fun. I got lucky. It said no fire or cold damage, and somehow I spawned lightning twisted out of it. I don't know. I haven't fine either way. Because of physical damage, but it's pretty funny. What's my rarity? 112%. Jesus, your zoom speed.
This is all
LOL.
we have. Gold is useless to me.
I'm gonna have to ask you to keep that on the hush hush. We don't want to hurt too many people's fifis around here. Oh. Oh. Maybe. Maybe. I'll give it one look. Somebody in a Reddit comment, because I posted to Reddit, I mean, again, like, not that many, this video, I'm disappointed, it's not getting that many eyes. I posted it to Reddit, it got, you know, downvoted, got like 3,000 views or something, I don't know. These people just really got their heads buried in the sand. I guess, and somebody, maybe it's one of you guys, posted the Reddit comment, they're like, I'm low-key super happy this post didn't take off because, you know, XYZ, they don't want it to... They want it to stay on the hush-hush. They don't want people to know. Give me a sense of melancholy there. Are you just profit crafting those? Yeah, I'm just messing around. Probably not that smart of a craft to do, because it wasn't even eye level 82, but... I don't know. I'm just kind of having fun with crafts. I don't really expect them to sell. The only things I've legitimately profit crafted is ES helmets and spears. But not in any major way, because I'm not profit crafting anything meta. So I didn't really make money profit crafting. Orb of Annulment. I mean, that might as well be a tink now. I should probably make Orbs of Annulment tinks. What do you guys think? Should Annulment Orbs be a tink? Wait, what?
Hail.
Danning. Bro. What are you doing? You're off here in no man's land, my guy. Ah. How dare you strike me with dot damage after everything is cleared out. If I test precursor tablets, you maps with one additional modifier? No, they should be good. They should be really good. I mean, they're very expensive, so... I did manage to 3-to-1 a precursor with 7% quant plus one additional modifier. The most expensive precursor in the game, I think. I saw what it was worth before, I forget, but it's definitely like well over a divine for that precursor. Dark Domain. How do you scale main twisters? Support gem salvo quadruples the number of twisters, but you have to wait for the seals to approach. Barrage gives you 2 extra ones, plus 1 per frenzy charge. You can double the effectiveness of your frenzy charges. And then you get 3 additional ones beyond the 1 if you have Whirling Slash up, fully empowered. The total number of twisters in a cast is typically between 50 and 100. Yeah, you can check the build and you can kind of see where it's coming from there. Grilling Chase Ascend node is beast for that. Yes, it is. It very much is beast for that. So we already have twofold support, so instead of having 20% chance to double the effective frenzy charges, you have 70% chance. Now it used to be we had a 100% chance, then they nerfed the Deadeye, and everybody was like, oh, Deadeye's bad, nerf Deadeye. But I was like, yeah, whatever, I mean, that's still really, really good. It did make me half contemplate going Invoker, though. Oh wow, really? I got a tink that's worth less than an annulment orb. What? Stir? What did somebody say earlier? I hope they fix the endgame so it's fun. I mean, This is kind of fun. This endgame's kind of fun to me. Yeah, like... That's fun. What are you talking about? The endgame's not fun. You think this isn't fun? We were talking about this yesterday. There is... The most underappreciated aspect of a good game and the fun you have from a game, an ARPG. The most underappreciated aspect of an ARPG and the fun you have in it is how fun the build is to play. The build you're playing is. Not how strong it is. Not the balance of the game. Not the state of the endgame. But perhaps the most underappreciated factor is how fun the build is that you're playing. Because when you got to play a build and grind, and you're gonna sit there and grind out content for hours on end, there's a pretty big difference between playing a boring build and a fun build, and how that feels after hours of grinding. I know I would get sick of the game a lot quicker if my build wasn't fun. And what's fun to people is different. I mean, it's not the same for everybody, of course. Maybe this looks stupid to some people. Maybe it's like, you know, can't even see what's going on or something. I don't know, but too fast, can't control a character, not fun. Okay, but the point is that it's true for everybody. You left a divine the last map? What? Where? How did I divine? How did I leave a divine? Did I really leave a divine in the map?
Fancy seeing you here.
I need more time. Not yet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty funny. Just leave a divine to rot.
Quick, get after it.
That's right. Sacrifice to the altar of Jonathan Rogers. Unfortunately, I had to throw out my altar to Chris Wilson. It was no longer effective. Yeah, I still haven't dropped a mirror in PoE 2, guys. Maybe I'll change that. We also have Hinacore locks to drop too. I haven't dropped that either. Did any streamers drop a mirror this league, this season? I haven't heard of anybody doing it. Mirror feels much rarer in PoE 2. Well, I hope so, because it's way too common in PoE 1. I mean, shit, I mean, you can just drop 2 mirrors in one map in PoE 1. Ridiculously common.
A useful trade.
Tier 4 crit.
What's new? Is that a good price for that? I have no idea.
Well, good option if we don't have Akiata's in our gem. Persistent support. Increased duration. Forge. That was terrible. PoE wanted raining mirrors. Kind of sad that apparently, like, Herald of Ice has no value in this build. Like, it just doesn't even make any difference. Dang, those Delirium bosses spawned in the flank position on me. Did you see that? That was crazy. They were gonna flank my ass. But I'm way too OP for that. It's pretty funny watching his twisters go like... I can seriously kill things that are like 10 screens away on this map. From the cast point. Holy crap.
You there, local. Come.
Dude, every mechanic is on this floor right here. Every single one. I ain't afraid of no lag. I don't remember killing that expedition. Oh, that's sick. The four-way stop twist. Oh my god. Wait! Can I do it? Can I do it? No. No place to cross. Dang it. Did my first Zesht ever, thanks to you. I'm glad to hear that. Twister does alright. Single target, yes. I assumed that you were doing that. What? Okay, sometimes tornadoes one fire if like stuck on a rock or kind of split spark. Yeah, this does occasionally happen. You begin to get familiar with like corners or crevices you don't actually want to cast Twister in if you're like in the middle of being stuck or something, because it could just despawn all of them. That rarely happens to me anymore, but it definitely takes some awareness, just knowing not to cast it right straight into a wall. I mean, it's still pretty, like, it's still hard to, like, it's pretty hard to do even if you were trying to do it, but it does happen sometimes if you, yeah. I've tried using the helmet. I've looked at it. I am intrigued by the idea, but it'll kind of require perfect defensive gear. But yes, I think like the super in-game version would be more glass cannon, but the game seems so easy right now. Maybe we can get away with it. No, you're automatically surrounded with that helmet.
Gold is
It's like a cheat code helmet thing.
I speak.
Yeah, you're always surrounded. You're surrounded by default. If it's rolled well. What? What that transmute? Perfect transmute. What? High roll tier 1. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now, if I somehow slam Merciless in this is actually worth like 10 divines minimum to start. No, that is horrible. That is horrible. Alright. Okay, so go for this. I'm not committing super hard on this, but we'll do a little bit here. Yeah. Might as well do another one. Why do I always do Amazon weapons? What is up with that? That is crazy, dude. Crazy. Hit anything, man.
I'll fill that in as soon as I can.
Always making an Amazon weapon, aren't I? Always. Not popular enough. It means we can transform it into a high tier unveil. A high level unveil. It's a precursor to an unveil. Tier 4 flat fizz? Dude. Dude. I mean, if I hit like Tyrannicus, to be a really good spear. Nope. Dance with Death get allocated in both points. It's a keystone, so you have to allocate it for a main skill point. You can't use a weapon swap point for it.
What's new?
Because keystones are hard-coded that way.
Oh, it's you. Let's see if there are any takers. What's new?
And I suppose I should have fractured for just in case I could fracture for the crit roll, and then that would have been nice. But oh well.
I'll do what I can to sell it for you.
Probably lost money on that. Should have stopped at crit. Is there an Uber in-game guide that you can follow? I have about 2 mirrors right now. No, but I do have it in my mind a bit. The surround tech stuff, it requires a level... It actually, I think, requires a level 100 character to fully take all the passive points without, like, sacrificing any major. We looked at it hypothetically in PoB a while back. Then you would have, like, perfect gloves, boots, and hybrid, all hybrid, the body armor. Like, all max roll stuff. But yeah, beyond what I have in the guide written down and stuff, I don't have it. Bundles. God, that's like 5 annulment orbs in a row without a divine. Or a divine that I could see. Oh well.
Go on. These are our supplies. Go. Yes. Gold is diamonds
What's
of
new?
me.
I saw that one. I was just fucking with you guys. I figured somebody'd lose their mind, but nah, it was pretty tame. Yo, I guess you knew I was... You knew I saw it or something, I don't know. Well, I didn't even do the breach either. It's kind of a giveaway. Normally I would check for the breach. And I'll pick up petty cash. Mirrors only. I mean, in PoE 1, almost to a point where I wasn't picking up divines, maybe. Just going for the mirrors. And locks. Dude, I dropped 6 Hinekora locks in one farming session that one day. That was nuts. Sir, where's my loot, sir? Sir? Heavy belt, tier 4. What do I think about this helmet? Flat crit chance, probably a good idea on the helmet, actually. Well, I mean, if I'm going for the other helmet with the
This is all we have.
surround, I don't know. Maybe I won't bother with it.
Yes.
Nah, the heavy belt was charm one charm slot. I don't do that. I don't do no one charm slots. I don't have divine a headhunter. Damn. I guess it'd be fine. Yeah, they are worth a lot. I'm used in my mind. I'm used to headhunters being worth like 10 divs, so you wouldn't actually chance orb one unless it already had good charm number. No, it was. But it was one charm, not 2 or 3. So I'm just saying, like, back in 0.2, you didn't actually want to chance orb headhunters unless it was already a good charm number. Because they weren't really worth chancing, barely, unless... Yeah, you guys remember headhunter was only worth like 10 div last league. I don't remember why, like, what? I don't know why they were so cheap. I suppose it is the thing to chance orb now. I like how it's easier to see the minimap after a bunch of twisters roll over my screen. The flashbang actually helps me see the minimap easier. I need more white twisters. Yeah, I can see. You see that? You can actually see the minimap better when the cold twisters just completely flood the center of my screen. That's crazy. That's mad lad tech, man. It's the tech of the day. See your minimap easier by flooding the screen with twisters.
Ready?
Can't argue with those results.
Oh, it was now that they were buffed to 60 seconds? For some reason I thought it was 60 seconds last time, too. That's weird. Okay, yeah, that would explain it. There's so many twisters. How many twisters was there? Oh, right, okay, mid... Okay. Right. Okay. It's all coming back to me now. Freaking mid-game buffs, GGG.
Is it? Quickly. As expected.
Yes?
Do I have enough damage for rebossing? Yes. This build, unless I fail to crit, this build one-shots Ubers with Twister. Although maybe not Arbiter, I don't know about that, but certainly Zesht it does.
Too weak, too slow. Not ready.
Is League dead already? No, this League will last forever because we have asynchronous trade. Don't you know? We're gonna have a healthy League for all eternity. I don't know. Endgame is easy, you beat it with 100 div, then what? Oh, I don't know. Make a new build. Maybe one that's fun, that keeps your attention. Past the stale endgame. One with a little bit of dynamism. Is a word for the day. Word of the day for you guys. Dynamism.
Barely broke a sweat.
I don't know. I mean, if it's still that boring, you can log off, play something else. But I think the idea is that if you're playing a really fun build, you might enjoy the end game a little bit more, whether it's done or not. I mean, when's it any different? ARPGs are an endless game, an endless grind for what? You know, currency to get stronger build for what? To do more content for what? You know, just to remake another build. Do stronger content, overkill the content for what? You know, I mean, it's just you arrive at the same place every time, no matter how good or how bad the end game is. It's all the same. Yeah, well, in PoE 1, people were asking me why I'm still playing the game. You know, a month in, what are you doing, Alva? You already dropped like 3 mirrors. What are you still playing for? Like, do you have any upgrades again? Like, no, not really. It's like, what are you playing for? I don't know. It's fun. To try drop a mirror, I guess. I mean, usually that's my motivation at the end, dropping mirrors, which do exist in this game, apparently. I mean, serious question. What constitutes, like, better juicing anyway? It's all relative to the state of the economy, is it not? So, like, in this game, we were talking about this earlier, a mirror is way rarer, right? So, like, does that not make it a loftier goal? Something higher to aim for? Should I just not do it because it's harder to juice? Would it not be more exhilarating if it dropped because of that fact? Like, it's all relative. Poverty League, Abundance League, high-end juicing, low-end juicing, like, it's all relative. You either enjoy it or you don't.
Choose what you need.
It's all relative. It's all a grind in the end. Trying to give me a roundabout excuse for why you're not enjoying the game, maybe. I guess.
Time is of the essence.
Same doesn't apply to everybody.
Go on. Of course.
Oh, and what's more, if you're in a constant state of comparing PoE 1 to PoE 2, you're never going to be happy. And the worst part of it, fast forward, you know, like 5-10 leagues, you'll probably be really unhappy because then PoE 2 will actually be better than PoE 1. And that'll really shake your worldview. If the map is easy, I'll cast twisters whenever. If I'm moving really fast like this, I'm not worried about 3 salvo stacks. But if I'm on a breach or doing abyss or expedition or something, I might worry about this 3 salvo stacks.
Prepare yourself.
You know, I mean, I know you don't want to hear this, but the endless delve tower system of the Atlas introduces way more variables in in-game juicing than Scarabs ever could. I think when people are like complaining about there's not enough variety of in-game juicing, they actually mean the opposite. They mean there's too much variety, there's too many things to try and track, and it's too cumbersome to try and like follow what anybody's doing because there's way too many variables involved. Like you can't even one for one follow a strategy somebody's doing. It's part of the reason why it takes me longer to do a strat video, because I got to think long and hard about how I even want to do it. Like, is this going to be replicable? Do I do a 3-tower setup, a 4-tower setup? Do I have 10 maps that are connected to 3 towers? Do I have 15 maps that are connected to 3 towers? Do I have 5 maps on 4? Do I have 0 on 4? Do I use 6%, 7% quant? Do I... You know, like, there's like a bajillion variables to weigh in there, rather than just, oh, use these 4 scarabs. 8 mod corrupted maps, right? That's actually way simpler. And it's fine to like simpler, but, you know, you gotta know what you're actually arguing. Well, I'm sure there's at least one trial of chaos farming strat. There's at least 2. There's at least 3 strats in Trials of Chemist. There's no hit runs. There's relic farming runs. There's Against the Darkness runs. There's vendor strat runs, which can be incorporated into the others. There's ritual farming. There's a variety of layers of ritual farming. There's the unique tablet. There's like all-in maximum investment on that. There's sort of minimum investment. It's kind of more out and go, but with a few ritual tablets. Similar with Expedition and Breach, I'm guessing there's... I don't even know what the logbook strats are, or like why those are good, but I mean, I'm in the dark on that stuff. But obviously logbooks make some currency. It's magic finding, 50%, 100, 150, 200% rarity. You know, I don't know how serious you're doing it, but like, I don't know, I can think of like 20 different variations of strats off the top of my head that exist in this game. There's
This is all we have.
There's now different layers, tier 1, 2, 3, simulacrum farming, there's bossing. There's Citadel farming, there's Visions of Paradise Citadel farming, there's rushing and blowing a bunch of currency on grand projects Citadel farming, and there's like lower investment of that, just going in when you get it. There's, I guess, the new support gem, lineage support gem target farming. What else is there? You could say delirium splinter farming, getting super high delirious maps. Jade Isle farming. Okay, I guess. Well, that's lineage support farming, right? There's strongbox farming, research strongbox farming. There's essence farming. There's, I guess nobody actually does wisp farming, but wisp bossing still used to be good. I suppose it might be good, perhaps. It's arbiter farming. Kind of chalk that up to bossing. People like zest farming for not just for the boss, but for all the breach rings and stuff. So it's like a farming crafting hybrid farm. Crafting breach rings. I level 82 breach rings, which now drop frequently with like tier 3, 4, 5s on the top end. Whoa, what is that? Half of those you said you already know are bad, or so low div per hour. I mean, I don't know that. I know there's some of those I'm not that interested in. But, I mean, I don't know that they're low div per hour.
What's new? Good.
I stumbled onto like, my goodness, at least like 5 different variations of ritual farming last league. I really had a hard time pinning down which one I liked the most. Going for certain modifiers. One, I mean, there was like there was one that prioritized a nameless invitations, one that prioritized omen drop chance. There's ones that prioritized as many rerolls as possible with lower reroll costs. There was some that prioritized, like over-prioritized pack size was the one that I did. I actually really quite liked the one up here with Reinvigorated Sacrifice. These two, that was a totally different dynamic with ritual farming, getting enormous amounts of, what do you call it? Ritual, whatever that thing is. Tribute. And then, yeah. So, I don't know. I don't really think there's that much of a point in dogging PoE 2 for a lack of endgame, or saying PoE 1's way better for endgame, but I do think you're a bit mistaken if you say PoE 2 has like no variety of endgame or something. Like, there's just a terrible lack of variety. Like, there's obviously a lot of different ways to farm in PoE 2. And most importantly, PoE 2 is way less discovered. Lest we forget, PoE 1 is like, the code has been cracked, and it gets changed, the code gets changed slightly, where certain things might get revamped or whatever, but PoE 1's already a discovered game when it comes to juicing stuff. And yes, there are a lot of ways to make currency. PoE 2 is highly undiscovered, so the best farming strat for PoE 2 is probably nobody even knows what it is right now. Especially in terms of the specifics. Like, it's probably something people are kind of doing but haven't really nailed yet, except maybe a select few people. It could be anomaly map farming, and knowing the exact mods to put on that, or some sort of way to hyper access anomaly maps. I don't know. None of those farms are exciting, unlike PoE 1. Alright, well, that's just your opinion, bro. I think it's about the last thing to say on that.
Too weak, too slow. Need more time.
I think, honestly, I think like 90% of the angst about towers is all revolves around the FOMO of the fact that there's too many variables in people's minds, and they can't stand the fact that somewhere out there in the ether exists the perfect 6-tower setup that, you know, beats all tower setups. And it's incumbent on me to chase the perfect tower setup, and, you know, even when I could be settling for 2 or 3 or 4 tower setups that would perfectly suffice and would in fact actually make more currency by, you know, actually running those tower setups, the ones that are lesser, so to speak, and spend more time grinding better, you know, decent maps rather than trying to chase the perfect map or whatever. It's also the understanding that this is an economy, and it's not like the fact that it's not the fact that towers are annoying to, you know, set up and prep. That is something everybody has to do who's doing that mechanic. So the economy is going to reflect the state of the economy will reflect a game where that process is taken into account of how things are valued and stuff. In other words, if, let's say, for example, hypothetically, if juicing towers was by far the best way to get raw divine orbs, guess what that means? It means every raw divine orb you find is worth more. Because there's a process tied to it that is time consuming. It means people can't just target farm raw divines freely, constantly, at all times. Which means the delayed gratification you get for doing the process of setting everything up and getting that divine orb is more meaningful when it drops. So I don't know. I think people just don't even think these things through. There's delayed gratification, everything. Whether you're rolling maps in PoE 1, setting up scarabs in PoE 1, there's a process to it. There's a process to this too, and if the process is longer, it means it's going to be more rewarding in the end. This is not my opinion. This is basic economics in how ARPG economies work. So in my opinion, the only complaint about the whole tower thing is if you're just somebody who doesn't actually care about the loot that's dropping and you just want to do like the juice content and again, like emphasis on don't actually care about the value of the loot or the loot you're dropping. You just want the experience of blowing up a ton of, like, a huge sum of monsters that could perhaps only be placed on maps where you're like loading up pack size and stuff like that. But I think that the vast majority of people complaining about towers don't fit in that bucket. I think they fit in the bucket of suffering from incessant FOMO of knowing that when they're chasing towers, there's somebody else out there who already has a tower setup, and that tower setup's probably better than theirs. And oh my god, I can't stand that thought, so I'm just going to complain about how bad towers are instead of getting to work.
Go on. This is all we have. I will make. Yes, choose what you need. Gold is used.
No, I hate the idea that you need to find these towers. Well, you hate the idea that you gotta travel to towers? Maybe somebody hates the idea that they gotta buy scarabs in PoE 1. I don't see a big difference between those. It's all set up. You're spending time setting up for something. More time, less time, different process. Again, the only way where that argument makes any sense is if you're somebody who wants to spend less time prepping and more time blasting crazy sums of monsters where the loot you get matters not. Because again, the quality of the loot is baked into the equation that people have to spend time setting things up. So you can't use that argument. You can only use the argument that It's cumbersome because I just want to turn on the PC and just blow up a ton of monsters. Beyond what you do anyway, because obviously every single map, juiced or not, you're blowing up a bunch of monsters. So it has to be hyper specific. I want to have like the absolute craziest juice loaded map every single time I load a map. Okay, you don't get to have that. It's true. I submit to that hyper specific argument, but I don't think most people are arguing that. He's just lazy instant gratification gamer. Yeah. You can't perfect what you're saying because there are crafters making crazy divs, so they dilute the economy. You know how an economy works, right? Do those divines just spawn out of thin air? No, somebody's farming them. If crafting is indeed the best way to make currency, guess what happens? More people step away from maps and start crafting, which means more finished crafting items appear on the market and fewer divines exist. When that happens, people realize that farming is something you need to do because the economy starts to flip on its head and you need to start farming currency there. And bot farms are farming, well, that's another thing. I don't know the extent of how much bot farming. That's always part of the equation. If that is indeed running so absolutely insanely wild that it is just upending the entire economy, then that is a problem and that needs to be fixed. But my assumption is that the botting isn't so outrageously out of hand that it has forever nullified the efficacy of farming currency for everyone else. And that the only way to make good currency is crafting for the bots who are just botting. I assume we are not that far gone right now. We could certainly use more divine sync, yeah. No, I agree with that. It would be nice to have more of a divine sync. Oh, actually, I gotta go. Time's up. We have to end the stream. I know it was a short stream. I warned you guys it was a short stream, but I have IRL obligations today, so we gotta stop. My intention is to be on tomorrow. Maybe tonight or something. I'll try to figure out a way to make a farming video of some kind. I don't know. I kind of want to do Trials of Chemist relic farming, actually, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway. Kind of realized that all of a sudden I gotta get out of here. I think I have time to raid somebody on Twitch. Yeah, I can raid somebody. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the rigorous debate today about the state of the endgame. If you're wondering why I'm always arguing in favor of the endgame, it has less to do with my personal feelings and more to do with I'm just sick and tired of people complaining about the endgame. We don't need an argument butchered to the ends of the earth. We've heard it plenty of times before. We get it. At a certain point, it becomes just noise, and I'm just gonna like say something to refute it because I can. Just tired of hearing it, alright? Especially as somebody who generally speaking, enjoys the game start, middle, end. I don't not enjoy the end game. I do think it could be better, yes. But just hearing, you know, you can only hear so many people air their grievances about something that's out of your control before you start being like, bro, okay. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at mentally. All that. Rating Balor Mage. So on Twitch we're rating, and on YouTube we're signing out. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Don't work too hard this week. I know I will. Check out the video on YouTube that is rustling a few feathers. Movement speed is a dead stat. People just don't want to come to terms with it yet. If you want any proof of that, just watch any mapping content of this stream. Rewind the tape. And there's your proof. Because I got 0% movement speed on boots. Woo! Go say hi to Valor Mage. We'll see you guys tomorrow at some time.